We are told that being a people pleaser is a shortcut to being loved. We think that if we just say yes enough, help enough, and be kind enough, we will eventually build a massive reserve of social capital. But psychology suggests a much harsher reality. The more available you are to everyone, the less valuable you become to anyone. This is the story of Marcus, a man who was everyone's first call, but no one's best friend. Marcus was suffering from social bankruptcy, a psychological state where an individual has spent so much of their emotional energy on others that they have nothing left for themselves. In social economics, this is known as the law of diminishing marginal utility. The more you provide a service, in this case, your kindness, the less each individual unit of that service is worth to the receiver. By being too nice, Marcus had accidentally lowered his own social value to zero. The first psychological trigger at play is the scarcity heuristic. Human beings are biologically wired to value things that are rare and difficult to obtain. When Marcus made his kindness infinite, available 24/7 to anyone who asked, he triggered the opposite effect. His friends didn't see him as a saint. They saw him as a utility. Because they didn't have to work for his approval, they stopped respecting it. In behavioral psychology, this is called reward devaluation. If a reward is too easy to get, the brain stops releasing dopamine when receiving it. Marcus was being kind, but he was actually training the people around him to take him for granted. This leads to the second hurdle, projection bias. Marcus assumed that everyone else shared his high level of empathy. He thought that if he helped someone move their house on a Saturday, they would naturally feel the urge to help him when he was down. But research shows that givers often project their own altruism onto takers, leading to a massive reciprocity gap. Marcus wasn't building a support network. He was building a list of debtors who had no intention of paying him back. This created a profound sense of loneliness. He was surrounded by people, but none of them actually knew him. They only knew what he could do for them. He was a personified service provider in his own life. The turning point for Marcus came when he discovered the Ben Franklin effect. This psychological phenomenon states that we don't do favors for people we like. We actually like people more after we do a favor for them, by always being the one doing the favors. Marcus was preventing others from developing an emotional investment in him. He had to learn to ask for help. This sounds counterintuitive for a kindness channel, but asking for a small favor is a powerful psychological tool that forces the other person to justify their effort by deciding that they must really like you. To escape social bankruptcy, Marcus had to implement selective unavailability. This isn't about being cruel. It's about strategic presence. He began to prioritize his own goals and only gave his kindness to those who showed a mutual investment. In psychology, this is the transition from pathological altruism to reciprocal altruism. Almost immediately, the dynamic of his social circle shifted. People began to check in on him. His no gave his yes actual weight. The lesson is this: your kindness is a currency, and if you print too much of it, you cause inflation in your own life. To be truly kind to the world, you must first be a steward of your own value. Stop trying to buy love with favors and start building it with boundaries. The world doesn't need more mats to walk on. It needs more pillars to lean on. Be a pillar. Value yourself enough to be unavailable sometimes, and you'll find that the right people will finally start showing up for the real you, not just the version of you that serves them.